Ever wondered what's inside one of these little Berkley dredgers, or Strike King deep cranks, or medium cranks, or shallow cranks, or crank of any sort? Today, let's take this little dude, and I broke the bill off of it, unfortunately, so it's pretty much useless. I'm going to take this little dude, and I'm going to cut him right down the back and the belly, and we're going to open this thing up and see what they look like on the inside, because I know what it sounds like, but I don't know what it looks like on the inside. This one, unfortunately, slammed into the screen of my graph, so I'm mad at it anyway, even though it was 100% my fault. But stay tuned, let's see what happens. And I'm just going to split this thing right down the... Ouch! You know, like I said, I plan on being unsafe. If you don't bleed, you really haven't done anything. Alright, so welcome back. So let's get this started. First thing I'm going to do is get these hooks off, and then we're going to get out the Dremel tool. So get ready. Leather gloves. Say hello to my little friend, the Dremel. Normally I would feel safe doing this in a vise downstairs, but in order to do it on camera, and because this machine is a little bit messy and a little bit loud, I'm going to do it outside. And so that's going to require me to hold it. I know it's not going to be super safe, but safe enough for me. Let's just see how hard it's going to be to split through this. So here's the big reveal. I'm going to try to do this slow enough. Okay, so here's what I've got. Let's just slowly try to pry this open. I don't want this to explode. Ah, it still did, but the good news is I see exactly where this went. Let's put this back. Okay, so there are the two sides. Let me hold them like this, so that you can see the inside of the dredger. Again, this is the Berkley Dredger. And all of these weights appear to knock to me. It seems like this one would probably do more knocking than the others, simply because its hole is bigger than the rest. And so I am curious, if I take that one ball out, if the rest of this, if the rest of this is simply for weight. So let's take that out. Okay, there were two little beads inside here for this. So let's put it back together. Okay, so I have those out, and there are two small ball bearings. They feel like there's small amounts of lead that were in this center hole. And what I'm curious about is, if I take those out, I'm going to put these in my pocket for a second, and I'm going to put this back together. I'm curious to see what sounds it makes. It's still making knocking, but it's not as loud as it was when I put the two in the middle. So let's put those back. Okay, now so a lot more of the sound is obviously coming from the two ball bearings there, and the rest of this is probably for casting. Now, you're going to notice one thing really quick. A lot of the plugs being advertised today that say they have a casting system built into them are going to have something more like a magnetic strip in here. They're going to have balls that when you cast them and initially sling them, they're going to go way to one side of this. And that's going to allow it to go further. Just think about the force that would happen as you cast this. If these ball bearings went flying out to the far end in the direction that the plug is moving, it would go further. And then when it stops, they're going to roll right back to where they were. And it could be the opposite direction. I don't know, because this is not one of those systems exactly how it's going to work on the inside. It may go from the back to the front during a cast. But I think the most important thing is when you cast this, the bearings are going to go to one side of that other system, whereas this one, they are stationary. These aren't going to move at all. These are going to stay right there, and this guy's going to stay right there. And so there may be a little bit of sound coming out of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, but I think the bulk of the sound's coming out of the two right in the middle. So there you have it. That's a Berkley Dredger. All right, so you didn't have to destroy one of your fishing plugs to see what I just saw. In the future, I may do this to other plugs as I ruin them. I'd like to see the inside of a like a Megabass Vision 110, for example. I'd love to see the inside of that and see some of those casting systems to see how they work. But not going to do that unless I ruin one of the plugs. I'm not going to take a new one that's $12, $15, $24 and slice it open just so I can see what's on the inside. So I hope you enjoyed this little bit of knowledge bomb that I've dropped on you as far as what the Berkley Dredger looks like on the inside. I hope you all enjoyed this video. All right, y'all have great luck out on the water. God bless. Tight lines, everybody.